Hey everyone, and welcome back to Whom It May Concern. I'm your host Malak here with my co-hosts Inara, Rif'a, Khuwaila, and Maryam.
Assalamu
Hello.
alaikum. Hello.
So I thought today we should discuss the art of making decisions. I thought it was interesting that a lot of people have different personalities and they use that to kind of make the day-to-day decisions. So let's discuss our personalities and how that affects our decision-making processes.
Well, for me, I definitely use more of my brain than my heart when I make decisions. So like head versus heart, I'm head. Not that I don't have emotions that I incorporate in my
She is
decision.
a robot.
I am not a robot. Some may seem so, but I don't know. I don't like my emotions steering my decisions. Maybe because I just don't have like heightened emotions like normal people do. Like
Normal people.
no, like a
What
lot
is
of
the
people
robot
they get
theory,
super
Khuwaila?
excited or super happy or they're super depressed. I just kind of stay like in the middle.
I don't think that's normal people. I just think they just show more because they express their emotion.
Ooh,
I
yeah.
don't like to express too much. So yeah, I'm definitely head.
Well, for me, I like to pretend I'm logical,
Yes, you do.
but I know I'm 100% emotional. Something can be a completely logical decision, but if my heart's not into it, I'm not gonna do it at all.
I'd say I'm logically emotional, if that makes sense.
Um,
I like to take all things into consideration, but I guess if I have to pick one, I'm 51% head, 49% emotional. Like at the end of the day, I feel like I have to be logical about things.
After thinking about this, I think I'm more heart. But when I say more heart, a lot of people think, oh, if you make decisions with your heart or emotions, it means that you're impulsive. I'm the type of person, even though I choose with my intuition or emotions, at the end, I actually think and reflect, it's not impulsive.
Yeah.
So like some people when they say when they think of emotions like that person that means that they're impulsive in making decisions, but I'm the type of person, yes, at the end of the day my emotion will play a role in my decision making, but it's after I actually thought about it.
Yeah, I think personally I'm more like a circumstantial type of person too. Like if it's family or friends or like they're coming to me with something, whether I think it's logical or it makes sense, like there may be no reason I could explain for it, but it's just like an emotion thing. Like I just do it. I go out of my way to make it happen even if I don't see the logic behind it. But if it's more organizational work or school stuff, that's I think definitely where I'm more logical. Like I actually think about it and like prepare for it and
so
stuff.
in general, head or heart?
I don't know.
Pick one.
I don't know. I feel like a little bit of both.
I'm head. Rifka's head. Maryam heart.
Head-ish.
Inara
Heart.
So what are you? Just pick
Come on,
one.
Malak.
Okay.
Either or, there's no in between.
Okay, then I'd maybe say head. Maybe I'm more logical about things.
And it's interesting because people have a negative connotation, like what you were saying. People have a negative connotation with heart, like emotional decisions. They think that usually it's bad to use your emotions and to think like that way instead of using, they're like, no, don't think with your heart, think with your brain, like think it through.
Well, I was reading psychology today when I was like researching the difference between like people that decide between heart and head and stuff. And they were actually saying that we may feel like we're programmed or people may like have a tendency to think they're emotional or like make decisions with their heart because psychologically your brain tends to only remember like really good events that happen with your life. And you have a tendency of loving those events. So you think that necessarily every time you're happy with the decision, it's something that you made with your heart. Like it was an emotional thing rather than like
That's very
a
true.
fully logical decision.
So would you say those individuals are more content with the decisions that they make since it's so personal?
That's actually a good point. I don't want to say that people that are logical aren't content with their decisions, but I would feel like if you loved something or your heart was into something, you're definitely more like.
I'd love to have like situations, because I feel like it's all dependent on that. So
Yeah,
like,
of course.
I don't think, I feel like if you're 100% head or 100% heart, like it's both problematic. Like you have to always take everything into consideration, which I feel like people in general do.
Nothing
So-
is ever one way or the other. It's
Mhm.
always
Yeah.
a mix of both. It's just one person might have more of one than the other.
Yeah.
If we were all logic, that might be problematic because people would be just plain old cold
I know.
and not
Yeah.
care.
Yeah, very
We'd have a lot of
true.
sociopaths.
Yeah.
But if we get rid of
I
emotions,
am not a sociopath.
but I'm saying you're balanced though. You have emotion.
Yeah,
like
it's 50-50.
You know, maybe.
It's somewhere there.
Yeah, I'm not saying there's no emotion. There's definitely emotion, but it's in not a perfect world, in a terrible world. If it's all logic, you won't have
Yeah.
any like feelings. Like if I'm going through a tough time and somebody's just all logical, it's hard to like express your feelings with that someone. But if also you get rid of emotion, let's say there's a lion on the loose, you're not gonna think logically, oh, what should I do? Should I go pet it or
Yeah.
should I walk away? Like at that point, you want your emotions to kick in, and I'm like, oh, I should not even think about. You should run your body. Your emotions should kick in. Where fear comes in, right?
Oh,
And that's an
like
emotion. So
instinct,
fear
yeah.
will kick in, and you will run away for safety.
That's the whole idea with those movies like Divergent and like, you know, where they divide people based where like you can only do this, you can only decide using this set of abilities, you know, and typically the people that are the outliers or the rebels are the ones that use everything, and they're typically the more successful ones, obviously, in the movie, like the heroine or the hero in the movie. But yeah, it just proves a point that one thing is not sufficient for every situation.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that I am impulsively emotional. I just like I can't
We
agree.
have to hold Maryam back.
Yes. So Maryam is the
Oh,
type of
no.
person.
I was
Hold
like-
on.
I was like, I don't agree with a lot of the logic stuff.
Okay, so this is Maryam. Maryam is impulsive decision making. So she will literally tell me and Khuwaila a situation and take our advice. And then we will literally tell her, Maryam, do not do this.
And she does it.
And then Maryam will do it. Like one time I'm at work, right? And then Maryam gives me a phone call. You know what? I did this. I literally had to stand up and I'm just like, Maryam, you did what? We talked over this. We said we weren't going to do
I was
this.
like, but my heart said do it anyway. so
Yeah,
I did.
literally. And then of course we need to bring in Khuwaila in the situation to help like both of us calm down and help Maryam
Try
through
to-
this again.
Trying to mediate between the two.
Yes, it's hilarious.
I just think sometimes people overthink things, and because they use so much logic, it can stop them from doing
that's
things.
so true.
Yeah, and I feel like that's sometimes me.
Oh, like you think
Well,
about it too much?
No, I don't. It's not that I think about it too much. It's just I feel like I hold myself back a lot more.
So this is all explains like the Myers-Briggs personality test. So basically the Myers-Briggs personality test divides people into 16 different personality types. And so we all did it.
So let's start with our first letters. Maybe the audience will kind of, or our
They're just
listeners will
like-
follow along easier if we start with our first letter.
They just think we just said all the letters of the alphabet.
Yeah, so so Myers-Briggs, the first basically types it into 4 types. And then you could, with all these 4 different combinations, you end up coming with 16 types of personalities. And so the first one that they will type you is if you're an introvert or extrovert. So let's all kind of go and say which one's our first letter.
Are we all E?
No, I am. No.
So
I was extrovert.
I was an extrovert.
I'm 51% introverted. So like I'm barely an introvert.
I am like 80% introverted. I am very introverted. I need my alone time.
Oh,
I need to reflect
hold on.
and think.
Okay, if we're gonna share stories, you guys, one time,
Oh, God.
me and Inara shared a hotel together, and I'm talking to her. She's
my
like,
God.
"Hold on, I need 15 minutes of alone time." And there's like 15 people in the room.
No,
and she wants everybody to be quiet so she can have her alone time.
At that time, it was just me and Maryam, okay? And I'm just like, we were at the Mastikna convention, and I'm just like, I just need to like, just 10 minutes to myself. I wanted to listen to some, something to kind of like soothe me. And then Maryam was like, what's an alone time? Like, who does that? And then she's like, wait, but I have a story to tell you. And then I'm like, and then she finally told her story, and I listened to it, and then she stopped. And then she FaceTimes her mom. It's a hotel room, guys. She FaceTimed her mom, and then it was super loud. It's not like she has headphones in. And then she's like, hi, Mom. And then she's like, oh, her mom's like, oh, who's in the room with you? She's like, Inara, but she's having her alone time. She can't talk to you right now.
That's so
We're
funny.
literally
That's
in the
not
same
how
room.
I remember it.
Yes, that's exactly
Well,
what
I mean,
happened.
it makes sense that not as introvert because she also believes in like mental health break days.
Yes,
So like,
yes.
Well, who
Everybody should
doesn't?
get a mental health break.
but
day.
nobody ever said you should take a mental break. Like,
What?
like
that's
Inara
mental-
thinks you should take a mental break.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
But
should
do you?
definitely
But
be
do you
allowed.
do it?
Yes.
No.
We should.
I've
That-
never taken. Like, what is a mental break?
I consider my naps a mental break.
Okay, then I guess I've
After
taken
work.
mental breaks.
Sometimes it's not enough. Like sometimes life just gets overwhelming, and you just need to like
Oh, yeah.
kind of
Take a step
take
back.
take a step back and just
Okay, so who was extroverted and who's introverted between us?
I'm also extrovert.
So Rifa Malak and Maryam are extrovert, Inara and Khuwaila are introvert.
yeah.
What's the next letter?
N or something.
So it's, are you sensing or intuitive? So sensing is what kind of information you pay attention to. Are you more like in the moment, or are you more intuitive who kind of thinks at a deeper level? You look into meanings of things. Are you more future oriented in the way that you think? So there's S, where you're more sensing facts and reality as to now, and then there's N, if you're like more future, you like to think ahead and like plan. Yeah, so which
What
one?
are you, Hinata?
I'm definitely intuitive.
Yeah.
I plan for the future. I like to imagine and create different projects that I would like to do. I'm never in the moment. You guys, this is actually really bad. I'm like, okay, just to tell you guys how I'm never in the moment, which means kind of I'm not observant at all. I had my friend, okay, so she picks me up, and we're driving, and then she's like, Inara, do you notice anything different about me? And I'm like, this is like the worst question for me, and I'm just like,
That's the worst question for everybody.
No.
this is me. I'm just like looking at her, and thank God she finally said, she's like, Inara, did you notice? I don't have glasses on anymore. I'm wearing contacts.
Okay.
And then in my head, I'm like, she used to wear glasses?
Oh my God. I didn't even notice.
Guys, this is my best friend. It was really sad. She
No.
laughs at me. She's like, oh my God, you're the worst.
I'm an intuitive. Yeah, I'm the same as Inara, I guess. I took this, by the way. I took this test a long time ago. Does it change?
Yes. When I took it a few years ago, I was something different than what I am now.
Oh.
Yeah, same. Mine changed too.
Mine is S. I'm very practical, realistic in the moment.
I'm an N.
I'm an S too.
Okay. What's the next letter?
So logic and truth. So is it a T or values and relationships? F. So this is kind of what we were talking about earlier, how we make decisions. So if you're a T, you think more logical, and then if you are an F, you think more about how it pertains to you, about like feeling. So let's go through our letters now to see if the personality test actually showed what we thought we are.
Oh, okay.
So that's interesting.
Wait, what was the letter?
So the letter is T. So are you thinking? So that's the more logical
you're
and
T.
truth. Compared to an F, if you are more values, relationships,
That's fun.
kind of more intuition, you're feeling.
I took the test twice and I got F one time and T the other.
Ooh.
So I don't know.
Hoyle, you're a softie.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Dumb.
I play hard.
What are you,
That's
Inara?
interesting. I am a feeler.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a feeler.
Yeah, I would definitely think that.
So, Inara's was you matched yourself correctly.
Yeah,
to
I
what
matched
you thought.
myself correctly.
Hoyle,
I didn't. I would think I'm
she's
not
still
that
finding
feeling.
herself.
But
I am.
I think White is a T. I think you're definitely
definitely.
more.
That's what I would think.
A
Was there a more
logical-
recent one, T?
Yeah, I think.
Yes.
No, I took them both within the same time.
Oh.
Like within the few hours of each other. And one
Why?
time I got F the next letter. I don't know.
Maybe
I
just
did.
depending on the questions.
What were you, Maria?
Because I don't think they're the same every time.
I am an F.
Okay.
So
That's a no-brainer.
wait, but I just want everybody to know. I feel like this was one that Hoyle was in the middle for because she really is such a big softie. She doesn't show it, but she is. She will cry. And we were watching this movie Wonder. She didn't even have the headphones on. She just remembered it from previously, the time she watched it, and she started crying her eyes out.
That was a
So-
sad movie.
She's a feeler.
Yeah, I got F too. I'm a feeler. Both times
I
I,
got
took it,
T.
that one stayed the same.
Oh, you got a T?
I got
T?
You are totally F.
Probably, yeah.
Huh, that's so interesting.
What do you,
know,
mean?
so
You're so like
Why
you're a
more
feeler.
emotional? You're saying she's more emotional.
I think it
No, I don't think not all
And
the
making
time. I could
decisions.
see
Maybe
like
with me
50-50 or
Yeah.
something.
This is when making decisions. So
Yeah.
this is saying you're more logical when you make decisions.
Okay, maybe.
I read something really interesting. So I struggled with this because I'm like, you know how I mentioned earlier, where I'm like, I am heart, but it confuses me because I actually think through, I reflect.
Mhm.
So when I was reading about this, about whether you're a T and F and what that means, they were saying if you're a feeler, it's the way that you think about how you make a decision. So like as a feeler, I think more about how things affect and pertain to me and about my values, opposed to somebody who's a T, who is more of a thinker. They remove themselves from the picture. They don't think about their personal feelings or values. They kind of remove themselves from the picture and look at it about pros, cons, logically, how does this affect the situation itself, but not me. So, but as to an emotional thinker, it's more like, how does it affect me? What does it mean to me? Does it affect other people?
Well,
How
you're
does it go along
selfish.
with my
That
values?
makes sense though.
Mhm.
Like they take themselves out of the situation so that their feelings don't basically
Decide for
yeah.
them.
That makes sense. Like
hmm
that's interesting.
What's the last letter? No.
So the last letter is, are you someone who's a J, which means, it means judgmental, but it doesn't mean like whether you judge
mean
people.
judgy?
It's based like if you are somebody who likes to have their things planned and structured, or are you a P, where P stands for perception. And if you're a P, you like to kind of go with the flow, you like to wing it, more spontaneous.
I'm definitely judgment. Whatever. Not,
J.
not
J.
judgy.
You're J.
I wouldn't put it like that.
I like to think and plan ahead. I will go with the flow, but I don't like it. I like when things are planned.
I hate when things are planned.
Mariam's for
P.
sure P.
I'm
For
a P.
sure.
Too much rigid structure, and I will feel like I'm selling my soul. to
Did
the
you say
devil.
rigid? Isn't it rigid?
Rigid? No, I think it's rigid.
It is rigid.
I have ADD.
We will take a poll.
It's rigid.
Yeah, I'm structured too. But like Khawaila said, I like to go with the flow, but I'm typically not the person to say let's go with the
I
flow.
was definitely a
Like,
lot
I like
worse
to know
before.
things.
When I was younger, I would like have such a hard time going with the flow. But now I think Mariam broke me.
Yeah.
That's funny though
Only
because
to-
you're one of 6, so how much? Like I can imagine a lot of chaos.
There was, but not with me.
No, I'm one of 8, and I'm also a J. Like,
Hey, I'm a J
I need
too.
J is like we need order, structure. Like,
so we're
I
all
need
J
plan.
but Mariam.
Mariam's the only spontaneous one.
Well, that makes sense though because remember that one time in Ramadan
Oh,
after
God.
Qiyam and Fajr we're like, hey, what is everyone doing? And Mariam had the bright idea of driving downtown to watch the
Aw,
sunrise
that was so
on the lake.
beautiful.
I can't stand when anybody else is driving but me.
You're a terrible
'Cause-
driver.
I like to wing things. I don't. If I want to stop by McDonald's and grab something, then we're gonna do that. If we're gonna get Dunkin', we're gonna do that. If Waila's driving, she's like, no, we go to the meeting, we go home. Straight.
It's a
our
mission.
plan.
It's a mission. Yes.
Detours.
We will be home by 8:35.
in 36 seconds.
No, you need how do you say it?
Spontaneity.
Spontaneity. That's
Know that.
important because some people are like, yeah, they'll freak out if something's not right that they didn't plan.
It makes them more anxious.
Yeah.
Yeah, that used to be me.
And
Really?
it's
It
not
really
really
was.
fun. Life isn't that fun when you're always
Yeah.
by the books.
Mhm.
Like it's rules are meant to be broken.
It gave you anxiety.
Not anxiety. I don't
You
think I'm an
experience
anxious.
the feeling of anxiety.
I am not an anxious person at all. But I just didn't like it. Maybe it was anxiety. I just didn't know.
Or you didn't know how to label it.
Okay, so
I
does
have a hard
everyone
time
think
with
like
emotions.
their personalities made sense based on the way you make your decisions? Like, did
what
you
was the
expect
name
that
for
kind of?
yours? Well, what was your name?
The full 4 letters.
Mine was
The defender.
okay. So I was
Oh.
ESFJ, and that's the console personality.
What's mine? Okay, so
How about
an
Ina?
ENFP? It fit me perfectly. Unfortunately, you like to think you're original, and I'm like, this will never find me, but no, it did, and it even said that I thought I would be original. So.
You're the campaigner. You're the campaigner. ENFP is campaigner.
Ooh, nice.
Thank you.
I mean, plus also think that they're dividing everybody into 16 personalities. Like, it's not gonna line 100%.
Yeah, that's the thing. I
But
don't.
like,
It's just crazy that
It's
the
for
fact
majority.
that it does in
No.
a lot of things.
I learned in my psych class that people, whenever they take these types of exams and they think that, oh my god, that's exactly me, these things say general terms that anyone can relate to. So it makes
Oh.
it seem like, oh my god, it's talking about me, but no, it's really not. It's
It's
just
very
very.
accurate though when you see the strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
mine lined up pretty well.
Yeah, mine too.
I mean, I'm not saying it has no science backing or like research
Yeah.
into it. There is, but in general, they try to keep it broad where a lot of people could relate to it, and it's not talking just specifically to you. I mean, there's how many people
yeah,
in the
billion
world?
people. Yeah, not everyone has their own personality. It's a
That's
more
like
general
my fortune
structure.
cookie.
Yeah, so you can't just divide it into 16 personalities.
Although what I do like about this, where do we take it? The 16 personalities, it gives you different percentages. So maybe people can have these 4 letters, but 1 show it in different ways, and 2 have different percentages of each letter.
Yeah, it's
So-
like a spectrum.
One thing that was crazy about this test is it said I was an extrovert, which I am, but I'm an extroverted introvert in the sense where I can only do extroverted things that I feel like I'm having a deep conversation or meaningful. Like I can't stand going to parties or events, but I will go to a bunch of gatherings throughout the day and need no alone time and won't stop talking to someone if I feel like I'm having a deep,
So
meaningful
you don't
conversation.
like small talk and stuff.
No, I don't like small talk. I don't like going to big events.
I
don't do that.
hate small talk. You guys, small talk is such a struggle for me. I like meaningful conversation. I hate like, oh, how is the weather? Like those basics, surface level conversation. I am so out of the zone and call me out. Or like those superficial talks about like celebrities. Guys, I tune that out.
hate
And
celebrity
I
talk.
can't handle those conversations.
But I mean, you don't meet someone for the first time and you're like, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Like, I would prefer those conversations.
It's
But
a
if you
little-
come
I
up
would be
to
a
me,
little- I would be a little taken aback. I'd be
Yeah.
like, yeah.
I think it definitely has to start out with like, oh hey, how
Yeah.
are you doing? How's your like that like the small
Yeah.
talk, and then it just evolves into
to
a
deeper
conversation.
conversations. That's true. But
But then depending on how much time you have.
exactly.
Okay, so what were some strengths of your personality?
Nothing.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
For me, I'm very determined and passionate. So one, it's something that I love, like a certain project that I'm doing. Guys, I will take it and I will run with it. So my type
Like
of
this podcast.
like this podcast, yes, I have to keep you guys in order.
But her thinking, it took her 2 years.
2 years to come up with
But
it.
Inara is very organized. Like, she had
Yeah.
every detail planned
yeah, we
out.
appreciate it.
Yes,
Yes,
we do.
Because
Alhamdulillah.
that means less work for me.
Yeah, so I'm definitely somebody who's determined and passionate, something, and I will make the dreams that I have actually come into reality. I'm not just a dreamer, I'm also a doer. So that's something that is one of my strengths.
A couple of mine are I am an excellent organizer and I am direct and honest.
You are.
You
Yeah.
are.
Yes, she is.
For me, I had some of the strengths were good at connecting with others and a strong sense of duty.
Okay, so for me, I'm curious, which is true. I like a lot of different ideas and I like doing a lot of different things, which is why it took me so long to pick a career. Still looking. I'm just kidding. And I'm observant of other people's feelings and emotions, and I take them into a lot of consideration. So I will notice if someone just stops talking or fades away from a conversation, I won't let that happen. I'll pull you right back in.
Some of mine were efficient, but I just think because I feel like everyone nowadays feel like they have to be efficient or they're not being productive, which is, something in this capitalistic world we feel like we have to. Honestly, but yeah, it says, strategic thinking. Yeah, I see it. No, I'm just
Yes, definitely
I mean,
that.
It also says self-confident, but I'm not even.
Okay, how about some weaknesses?
I don't want to share my weakness.
Mine is I always need to have a cause. You guys, this is one of my weaknesses because everything I do needs to have a meaning to it and needs to align with my values.
Okay, so a few of my personality weaknesses was reluctant to innovate or improvise and vulnerable to criticism, which makes sense. The reluctancy one definitely makes sense because if I planned something for so long and I had like a team and everything and we planned something and everybody was on board and then somebody comes last minute to try to change it, that doesn't sit well with me at all. Like I might not say anything to at the time, but like inside I'm like, oh my god, where were you the past like whatever long we were planning, And then vulnerable to criticism. I'm more vulnerable in the sense, like, if you tell it to me, I'll try to make it, like, I'll try to change it. I really will take it to heart. And if I've done something that I've offended somebody, like, I like to hear people's thoughts on my work and, like, what I do and the type of events that I take part in. So those both made sense to me.
Okay, for me, so find difficult to focus, as in I get bored super easy. That one was the most true for me. Because I can't even finish, like, a show. Like, I'll get too bored, and I will lose focus in the middle of it, and I'll just honestly read, like, the Wikipedia about what happened in all 7 seasons. And be like, okay, I'm good, move on. And another one is I have poor practical skills, which means I can think of, like, really big ideas and a whole bunch of them, but actually making them happen.
And then I'd bring her back down to reality.
I'm like, but what do you mean? Why can't we go to Alaska if we've seen a penguin commercial? I just don't get it.
But
Let's grab everything and go.
Those are really fitting of Medium, actually.
It's like, you're broke, Medium. Put it on the credit card. Let's go.
Mine are I repress my feelings.
Yes.
And I'm reluctant to change.
We just discussed those.
Good job. You're self-aware. Strength.
Two of mine that I think are most accurate is impatient and poor handling of emotions, which is kind of like you. So impatient, yeah, it's really bad. I really need to be more patient, a patient person. And poor handling of emotions, I just think it's from like trauma of my childhood.
From being the middle child.
Being the middle child, yes, that's true.
And she was the baby
Comes with a
amongst
lot.
our group, so.
But I think we should get some like situations
Okay,
and
so
like where our head or our heart.
truly lie.
Mm-hmm.
Or where our personalities will take place in these certain situations.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start off with an easy one. There's a job that will give you so much moolah.
Money.
But you don't like it. I'm not even going to say you like it a little. No. Like, going to it, you're like, oh, when is this going to be over?
Mm.
Or a job that you love, but you make minimum wage. What would you choose?
I went to social work, so clearly I'm going with my passion. Yeah, my heart has to be in it for me to. It's something that I'm going to go to every single day. It has to be something I love to do.
Also, wait. Do we have kids? Like,
No.
are we? Like, do we have? Is it just ourselves?
Where we
Like,
are right now. in
Where
our
we are?
lives, I
Oh, right.
guess.
And okay, then I'll definitely pick like where my heart's at.
But that's because everything's taken care of for us.
Right as of now.
Okay, but
Yeah.
you live
But, like-
on your own, let's say.
Like you're just responsible
Then
for
it-
yourself.
Then it's what I hate for more money. I just learned to love it or like stand it. I don't know.
I think I'm with you. I mean, it's hard, but I feel like again, I can just keep my emotions at a balance where I don't hate something that much, and
Yeah.
I don't love something that much. So it's not like I'll be sad. You know what I mean?
I guess. I don't know. For me, I mean, I quit a job I didn't like within 3 days because my heart wasn't in it. So
Mariam, nobody's like you though.
that's not true. A
There's-
bunch, 8% ENFPs out there. Me and you. Okay, so next situation. We're getting a little harder. We're upping the game. Would you have 99 guilty men go free, or one man that's innocent go to jail
easy,
for his
easy.
whole life?
Easy.
That's
Well-
not easy.
Yes, for if you were a lawyer, usually the saying goes, I'd rather have 99 guilty men walking free than one innocent man behind bars. And I totally agree with that.
Me too.
I totally
Yeah,
agree
same.
with that.
I would have to say the one.
But what if
It's so funny.
even
I don't
half
agree
of
with
those
that.
99 people, if they end up killing someone else?
But you're
That's
taking
true.
the life for one person that had done no wrong, like his livelihood.
But the 99 might do something wrong to
And then-
multiple people and cause more corruption.
I think karma will catch up to the 99, but to take the livelihood from that one guy is just, it's not the same. You always hear those stories too of the wrongly convicted guys that were in jail for like 25 years and then are found innocent. Like, I don't even know why they're found innocent 25 years. Why did their kids come up?
Yeah, DNA and better like scientific like technology and stuff like that.
There was
Oh, I
actually a guy recently on the news, I forgot how many years, but he was in like prison for 40 plus years, and then he was found innocent. He was
Oh.
charged for murder, for killing his girlfriend and I think her kid, and he was found innocent now that we have higher technology, and they found that he wasn't actually the guy who killed, but he won like $20 million. Do you think that makes up for it?
I don't
He
think
got
so,
like millions of
no.
dollars from
No.
the state.
His youth,
I
the
know.
fact that he could have had children, grandchildren,
I
a
know.
life of
Like
his
his
own.
life.
That's
I'm
not.
guessing
Money will not
jail
bring that back.
sucked.
Okay, what's the next situation?
Wait, I didn't say my opinion on the situation. I disagree with you guys.
What?
I would send the man to jail even if he was innocent. I know, but I'm looking at it from a. But that what if that man was you, Mariam?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to go to jail.
Yes.
But I also wouldn't want 99 people that are murderers or rapists or robbers to be out on the streets.
Law school has changed you.
I'm cold now. Okay, so next situation. Your animal is suffering and old, but he may have like another 6 months to live. Would you kill him or no? Not
No.
kill him, but you know how you take
Put
him
him
out
to
and
sleep,
Put him to
sleep.
sleep because he's suffering.
I
What
would put
you
him to
do?
sleep.
I
don't
would
think
keep
I
him
would.
alive. I don't think I could put him to sleep. I would wait the 6 months.
I would choose palliative and hospice care.
Oh my God, that's exactly.
Well, because I'm just kind of relating it back to humans and what I do at the hospital, and I recommend palliative or hospice. I don't recommend.
Well, we don't know what palliative means.
Oh, it's like end of life care, basically.
Wow.
It's like bringing a nurse to the house to help you through the
Yeah,
last
they
days.
help. They like do pain control. If with palliative, you can like treat.
But there's
some-
no such thing like that for a dog.
Yeah, is there?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I feel that sounds like some
The
white
yes.
stuff. I feel like what.
Did we just come
That
up with a
definitely-
business idea right here? Are we gonna become
The
millionaires?
modern skeptic said it first.
You heard it here.
People like their animals more than they like other people.
Yeah, it sounds like
true.
it can fly in Lincoln Park.
I would keep my dog alive.
Yeah.
I would always have that like last string of hope that he would be cured.
Mhm.
And I don't think I can live with myself if I ever kill them.
Yeah.
I can't.
I would
Imagine-
care for that dog.
Oh my god, and imagine the life going out of his eyes.
Oh my
no.
God,
Okay.
stop.
Yeah, now when
Next
you put him in palliative
situation.
care.
Next situation.
That's like angel of death type of stuff.
All
Okay, you're in a burning house and there's a baby
God.
Stop it.
and there's an old person.
Do
The old person is your distant relative.
I like
Who
this
would you
distant
choose?
relative?
Did I get a good Eid present?
I would just have all three of us burn together.
What?
That's such
Whoa.
the basic, like, I
That is
die
not-
trying to save both.
No. We can't
We
add
live together, die
scenarios.
together?
You have to pick.
And we don't know the baby? It's a
No,
random
you
child.
don't know the baby. I don't know why there's this random baby in your house.
How
but
old
you
is
don't.
that
I would
baby?
pick whoever's to my right.
Whoever's closest,
What?
so you save 2 people.
They're equally distant from each other. Jeez.
How old is the baby? Like, have they seen, like,
Have
are
they
they
seen
aware of
life?
life?
They are
Like, are
10
they?
months.
10 months?
10 months.
I'm just kidding. But how old is the old person?
They are 68.
They've lived enough.
That is young in doctor terms.
I hope like the old
But
person.
healthy.
I hope the old person would be yelling like "Save the baby," and then be like, "Okay, the baby." But yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one.
That is tough.
I don't like these.
I can't decide.
Yeah, I can't decide.
Wait, but they're
refuse.
distant relatives. Yeah, I guess I got the relative.
I mean, they are a relative, so.
Gotta get the fam first. I'm just kidding.
I mean,
No, I mean it makes sense.
does make
Only
sense.
Like, it's your uncle or something. You're not gonna let them burn for a
And
random
there's a
child's
relationship
baby,
there.
yeah.
You know them. You know.
And
their
they may
I
person's
have-
think I would
family.
honestly
They may
just
have their
try
own
both,
family.
And if I'd go down, I'd go down.
Where's the fire department?
Good
in all
job, Tyler.
this?
You killed everybody.
But like, I would at least, I would have that, like, I would go down trying to save everyone.
Aw.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would call 911.
Okay.
Have them take care of the situation.
That's interesting.
Okay. That is the end of the situations.
Oh, nice. Yeah, guys.
You've
so
made it to the end.
awesome. So definitely look into the 16 different personality types and see what you are. And you could probably get a better understanding as to what we were talking about. Like Hoida had mentioned before, some of it is true and some of it could be kind of general where you're like, oh, I'm not so sure if this is actually my type. But it's definitely very enlightening, so I recommend checking it out and seeing what your type of personality is.
Wait, and let us know what your personality is. Let us know if you match with any of us.
Yes, INFJs.
ENTJ.
ESFJ.
ENFPs. Come on, we're social media people.
I also know that like
my
once you
letters.
take the test, you can also scroll through pages. Like besides the strengths and weaknesses, they even do like spouse, famous people that are the same thing.
Yeah.
Like they provide a lot of cool
Careers,
information. Yeah,
friendships.
things that work best for you. Like as a
Maya
person.
Briggs sponsor us.
ENFPs, we're Will Smith. Be proud.
Okay, you guys, thank you so much to everyone for tuning in and listening to this week's episode of To Whom It May Concern. Please subscribe, like, and follow us on social media. We appreciate all the support we've been receiving so far. We really can't keep doing what we're doing without you guys. If you do not already follow us, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at The Modern Skeps. That's TheModernSkeps. And please continue to tune in every week on Tuesday mornings. If you have any ideas you'd like us to discuss, please feel free to email us at themodernskeptics@gmail.com. Sincerely, The Modern Skeptics. P.S. Remember, there's never a good time to make a hard decision.